So this new Nissan Leaf is completely electric. You can plug it into any power point in your home and it will cost you only $700 for the year to run. But it is pricey to buy. At $49,990, it's around $10,000 to $15,000 more than a regular petrol hatchback. And even its nearest competitor, the Hyundai Ioniq, is about $5,000 less. And unlike in Europe, where you get cash rebates for buying electric vehicles, Australia is a little bit behind and we don't have that yet. So what makes the Nissan Leaf so good? I did a family review where I test the vehicles for a whole week with my family of 4. Here's how it did. If you're looking for a more detailed review, check out the CarsGuide website, and if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit subscribe. Let's ignore the electric motor for a second and talk space, because it's still a family review, so we still have to make sure it fits a family. And did we fit? Yes, easily. This Nissan Leaf is actually more comparable to a small SUV space-wise, not height-wise, but still space-wise. There was enough room in the front seat and we didn't even feel cramped. With enough room in the back seat for kids, we were comfortable enough for a whole week of busy school drop-offs and after-school activities. I mean, you're not going to be able to drive your kids' friends around, but that could be a good thing. And as a second car, it's the perfect size. In the back, you are missing out on air vents, but that is standard in a hatchback, small hatchback category. And you don't get cup holders in the back seat either, again, standard. Because there's no fuel tank, the boot is deep and spacious. It's not the biggest of all the hatchbacks, but I was able to fit the CarsGuide pram in here. I had 2 really big boxes from the grocery store, plus tennis rackets and school bags, and it was fine. So it's a really decent size for a hatchback. The Nissan Leaf looks good on the road. I got stopped twice to ask what kind of car it was, and then somebody actually crossed the road once they found out it was a Leaf, just to talk to me about it. It's eye-catching and it looks modern. Inside, they've really upped the interiors to give you some of that value for the money that you're paying. They've got leather seats, which are really comfortable, and they're heated front and back, which is excellent. You'll also get the heated leather steering wheel, which is something that Australian markets usually miss out on, but I appreciate it in the cold this week. The whole center console area is nicely designed, and they've integrated the screen into the dash, which is something that I wish other companies would do as well. It's got a really nice feel to the dash up here. Plus they've used this blue stitching as accents throughout the interior, and it just makes it feel a little bit futuristic. For storage, there are 2 cup holders in the front. You'll get a very little center storage bin, a spot to throw keys and a phone, plus a bottle holder in each door. Okay, the charging. If you don't have any of the fancy accessories, you basically plug this into an electricity socket in your home and it can take up to 24 hours to charge. That's the basics. You can get a Type 2 connector installed in your garage and that will take 7.5 hours to charge, or you can get a swanky Japanese CHAdeMO charger and that will take about an hour. I got the car with 90% charge on a Friday. By Tuesday, it was down to 75% with just local driving over the weekend. And then I took it from the eastern suburbs down to the Sutherland Shire and back. When I got back, it was down to 50%, which means it used 25% of the charge for driving about 100 minutes, which just made me plug it straight in. Nissan claims there is a 315k range on a full charge, but judging by the way it dropped down so quickly on a longish drive, I would probably not be taking this car on long distances. Nissan's also working with ChargeFox, the company installing EV charging infrastructure around the country, with 100 fast chargers and 22 ultra-rapid chargers to be in place by the end of 2019, connecting Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Canberra and Adelaide. And in about a year, you'll be able to pay about $2,000 for a two-way charger, which essentially stores power into your car's battery and you can then power your home with it. Driving, as you'd expect in an electric car, is so quiet. It always unnerves me a little bit because it's actually hard to tell when the car's on, but you do get used to it. It is on and it's really quick. It gets to 100 Ks in 7.9 seconds, so there's no issue with power or getting up hills. The gear shifter is just strange, to be blunt, so it took a little bit of working out. It looks illogical, but it does work for drive and reverse and park, but getting into neutral took me about 2 minutes to figure out. And like other electric cars, it has regenerative braking, which means that when you take your foot off the accelerator, it will come to a stop. It takes some getting used to, but it's actually quite good because it saves power on the car and you're constantly looking to see how much power you can save. If you really hate it, you can actually turn it off and there's a feature that will let the car roll. The steering and handling are great. It's all very smooth sailing. I had no issues whatsoever. And parking was excellent too, because as with the Value, you get your forward camera, your reverse camera, and a 360-degree camera. So parking's a breeze. And there's all sorts of advanced safety with auto emergency braking, with forward collision warnings, lane departure warnings, blind spot monitoring, recross traffic alert, amongst other things. There are 6 airbags in here, and you'll also get 2 ISOFIX points and 3 top tether points to fix kids' car seats in safely. The Leaf is also the first Nissan to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so the tech feels as up-to-date as the car looks. You can use voice control to make calls and your phone's Maps app to navigate. I like the growing trend for electric cars, and the sooner we adopt them, the sooner the infrastructure will be in place for us all to charge up instead of fuel up. The Nissan Leaf was lovely to drive this week and easily supported our lifestyle. There's enough space for a family and really makes the ideal second car if you still want a big SUV too. It's got all the latest in safety and technology, and it was easy to charge. I gave it a family rating of 7.9 out of 10, just taking points off because it's still a little bit pricey. My kids gave it an 8.8. They love electric cars. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel or click through our website.